Hello everyone, welcome back. We are back in Island Lake, back on SnowRunner on hard mode, and back in hay fever season. No, we are, but hopefully I don't sound too bad today. Anyway, what are we doing? It's on the screen, funnily enough, a bit of power lines. So the last episode I did half of the lumber mill revival contract. I'm going to leave that there for a little bit. And, well, yeah, do power lines. Take some metal beams around and see what we can do with that. Hopefully get it completed today. And as part of that, there's going to be a bit of back and forth. I've plotted a slightly funky route to do it. But hopefully it means we should be able to do it relatively efficiently and also bring back an extra set of metal beams that's needed for lumber mill revival instead of going back to Smithfield Dam and picking up the irritating set that didn't want to play with me in the last episode. Tried, failed there. So they are getting ignored. For a while at least. I don't know if we'll ever actually need them or the trailer. So there is a set of metal beams on the right here in this trailer that's parked in an extremely unhelpful direction. You sort of got to smash through someone's front garden really to get that out. So I'm ignoring that one. We are on the way. Let's make up a different trailer. To the right here. I'm going to put myself in high range and see if that helps us through this muddy, swampy marshland here. Now just up ahead, poking through the trees, you can see a Scout 800, which does need to go where we're going. I'm going to see if I can rescue that on the way. May as well pop its mission on for now, so we know where we're going. God, it's muddy here though, isn't it? Very muddy. Nope, not that. That's what we want. Oh, but we don't want to keep reversing. Ooh, dear. So that was a fairly easy pickup. I don't know whether that would be a nightmare or not, but it wasn't, which is always good. I think I've got to that point with SnowRunner where I just expect everything to be painful, but it's not always. What is this? I need to remember to grab that. Oh, that's literally the mission that... the contract that I'm doing. Bloody hell. What a muppet. I thought that was a mission to pick up, not a cargo drop-off. Goodness me. Right. Oh, hello. So I think I might try and grab a thumbnail. Possible thumbnail here. We bounce along this road. I hope the scout's okay. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Oh shit, I'm not okay though. Should probably look where I'm going. That could have been a bit of a disaster. Lights are still okay though, that's the main thing. So this should just be a case of rolling the scout into this drop-off zone. But before we do that, I want to see if it's got any fuel that I can nick. Nope. Worth a shot. And then I think this is the trailer that I wanted. So, very much worth doing that. I didn't even look to see how much we got rewarded there. I just kind of went straight onto this. So let's put the contracts back on. Cheers, this one. So I think, is it that log station where you can get metal beams from? It is. So what I'm going to do is go down, do fallen pole 3, do fallen pole 2, come back, grab 2 sets of metal beams so we can drop one off over here, fallen pole 1, and one off over here for lumber mill revival. So nice and efficient. Hopefully. I am hoping that with increased weight, this doesn't knacker our fuel to a point where we run out along the way. Certainly quite swampy here. I can certainly notice the difference pulling the metal beams now. Yeah, I'm just grinding to a halt without diff lock. Really. I'm going to have to turn around, which is going to be fun. I haven't actually thought about how to how to tackle this. Let's. Maybe we can just reverse it the whole way? Is that doable? Apparently it is, so far. Although we're going... It's not the easiest way to do things. I'm not sure I want to do the whole journey like this. Tree. Almost a tree. Right, let's get this spun round now. There's a bit more land to do it on, I think. Ooh. Famous last words. So we haven't got any fuel around here, have we? Doesn't look like it, which is fine. But we're heading up to fallen pole number 2 now. And again, we're carrying a bit less weight for a little bit. Although, looking at the fuel meter, that doesn't seem to make much difference. That was very close. I actually looked away then, just to look at the laptop doing the sound recording. Flicked back to see the diff lock about to cripple us. So, glad I caught that one. I love the noise that all the metal beams make, just bouncing around in there. Donk. Got better room to turn around here at least. And that's another power line up there. Up and belt. Now I talked about turning around, what I'm actually doing is just going a little further up where there's what looks like slightly less marshy ground. To see if we can do this. Trailer's not gone the way that I wanted it to, but I don't think that's an issue because we can use this extremely. Oh no, it's caught. That was too good to be true, wasn't it? I should have just bloody reversed it out again. Right. Right, beautifully done. With a little help from the winch there. That was definitely how we turn trucks around in real life, isn't it? Now it is, of course, time to do some craning. So I'm never going to reach the back of this by parking here, so I'm going to detach that, watch it bounce away to oblivion, and hope that... I don't like the angle that that's sat on. But I'm also too lazy to try and do anything about it, so we'll see how this goes. crane out of the way first. It might have actually just been safer to auto-load these rather than faffing around with a crane right now. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Well, shit. That's just made things a bit more complicated, hasn't it? Just thinking whether it's worth, instead of trying to rescue this, just sucking it up and paying the money. I think I'm going to do that, actually. Because I could be here all day trying to fix this. And it's on the wonk. And the last thing I want to do... Oh, for bloody hell. You can see how much of a pain it is already. Yeah, the last thing I want to do is... end up flipping this. You can see just nudging it's sending the thing over, so as we've seen sometimes with the Scout in a few videos ago. You know, if that was full of metal beams, then when we if that was full of metal beams when we attached and it went flying, that could have easily taken us over with it. So yeah, we're going to go back the way we came, because then we can fuel up there and ditch one of the sets of metal beams if needed. Well, it is needed for lumber mill revival. This is the right way out, isn't it? Nope, we want to go this way. I think. Yeah. What is fallen antenna? That is to get some cargo containers. Interesting. I think that's for a specific mission, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. One to look into at some point. So I guess that is an interesting lesson in knowing when to not necessarily accept defeat in hard mode, but actually pay for services. Because, as we saw, went out of our way to crane it. It was parked on a dodgy angle. It flipped over. I could have probably rescued it by flipping the trailer, getting the metal beams back in, but then it might have fallen over again. As I said, it might have taken us over when we tried to attach to it. All the while burning petrol or fuel, when for the sake of $300 or 300 monies, given that there doesn't seem to be any sort of currency marcation in this. Could have just done it and be well on the way. Save some time, save some fuel. At a relatively low cost. I mean, when we eventually fire up things like the Twinster or the Pacific, if that's dragging things around, like, we're going to need to pay it anyway, unless we happen to have a crane. A truck with a crane on it parked nearby anyway. So, you know, it's not a huge cost. And now that I'm at the point of ticking off various contracts as well, that's when they start to get a bit more money in. You know, the rewards do stack up a little bit more now. Obviously, at some point we're going to start buying trucks, which is really going to eat into the cash that we have, and also upgrading obviously costs money too, but for now we're starting to get a bit of a healthy bank account. What have we got? 72. That's slightly higher than I thought as well. I thought we were in the 60s. Talking of buying trucks, I know I asked it quite a few episodes ago, but still, opinions are very much wanted, needed, and valid. So, good off-road trucks to get for hard mode that I can buy. Let me know in comments if you've got any ideas. Goodness, the climb. Grab some fuel. That's also not a mission trailer, so we can literally just drain that one until it's gone. So somewhere around here is our drop-off zone for the metal beams that we need for the other mission. Oh, there we go. That seemed to pop up fairly late. It's not showing up for some reason. Maybe I need to select the contract. The lumber mill revival? Yes. we go. I don't know why you want to unload another set of metal beams. I'm not going to do that. And then we'll potter on around about the way we came. To go and drop off this set of metal beams. We'll grab some more fuel as we're passing. As always, every little helps. Actually, this is the way that I want to go, yeah. I actually don't know if I've picked up this Bridge the Gap mission, so I'm sure I have. I can double check as I pass. Yeah, one that I've already got. I'm also out of the marshy land up here, which is nice. So you can just let it sit in high range for a bit and hopefully just plod on round without too much incident to Fallen Poles number 1. Cool, so that's that done. Another 600 experience, 444,400 money as well. So that's good. So contract-wise, apart from these, I was going to say stupid log ones, they're not stupid, they're just long and quite uninteresting. So we've only got a fuel order and lumber mill revival to go. We need concrete blocks, which, as far as I'm aware, only exist in one warehouse, which is on Smithfield Dam. Over here, which I believe is where the fuel order needs to go with the cargo containers. So I think it's time to do fuel order, which means, it's another trip to the quarry. Because I don't think we can get the cargo containers from anywhere else, unless those ones on Island Lake. Or doable. So that is a storage zone. It is 2 cargo containers. That would mean going back there, though, picking those up, and then heading into Smithfield Dam down here, then getting through all the goopiness get to there. Which is doable. It's a lot back and forth. The other option is bring either the Fleet Star or the Pacific into the quarry to get the cargo containers from there and then just take them down the road. So here's the answer. We're going with the Pacific. That took a little bit of thinking to figure out how I want to do this. But yeah, it just seems like the way to go is getting this back in action. So at the moment it's just parked here. It's going to have to go across to some of the maps anyway. So let's get it on the go. I want to go to the right though, not across the bridge. I'm hoping taking this down into the quarry is an overkill. I'm wondering if there's a better way of doing this. And I'm thinking about it as I'm driving. But we've got to get to that warehouse with the cargo containers. I suppose the other thing is just bringing the White Western Star by itself to the quarry. And then bringing it up. And then we don't have to go on the massive journey with the Pacific. I know I'm bringing that across to the garage now, but that is still kind of something that is needed. Because I think we are going to need the Pacific on those later maps rather than just parts of Black River. One thing I am a little cautious of is putting this thing in the quarry, and it's massive. And then it's going to have a trailer, not attached to it, but just pulled by it. So, thinking again. Nah, going for it. Going for it with the Pacific. We'll see what happens and hope for the best. I think what I am going to have to do at some point though is relocate the GMC down to by the quarry. This truck is massive though, so I'm hoping that it can cope with the quarry, or the quarry can cope with it. I'm not really sure which way round it is at the moment. We'll see. As always, we shall see how it goes. I've got to negotiate my awkwardly parked trailer. Jesus, that was the brakes not working in time, and it's also not the way that I want to go anyway. So good work there. That's a bit worrying. That's going to be interesting to get out of, I think. So I go whether going up that way would be any easier, actually. But we'll see. This could turn into a complete disaster. That's all part of the fun, right? Right? The trailer's the right way to go, though, which is good. Although that wasn't great. I almost thought we were going to go over the top then. Let's get this guy turned around. I feel like I might have made a mistake bringing this down. No, not reverse. God, the amount of times I've done that. I'm not even convinced I'm going to get this turn done with this trailer now. Because look at the length of this thing. Again, the Pacific has the turning circle of a cruise ship, which doesn't help. I reckon I'm going to spin around this corner. The trailer's going to bounce off something. And the cargo's going to come off immediately. Can't get a grip. Try auto for a bit more power. Alright, that's good. All these rocks are just causing me to kind of slip and slide. You know, caught on something again. And there's obviously nothing to winch to. So it's just a case of kind of sliding around, knocking it back and forth a little bit until I can find a point with grip, which isn't too bad. Obviously it's still a little hairy. So I didn't like that narrow point that we came through on the descent. So I think I'm going to have to try the other way. just go straight up here. At the left. I'm just going to have to stop though and switch video, if that makes sense. Alright. Let's go left and hope for the best. How long did that take? Not a lot of time at all. It is that little rock that's catching on the tyres that's causing us to slip, I think. Although going on the rocks to the right gives us a bit more grip, funnily enough. So we'll stick with that. Bad idea. I thought maybe putting it in high range would just give us some solid momentum to work our way out. Yeah, spinning again. It's almost a case of just having to get stuck, spin around a bit, kick the rocks out of the way, and then try it again, right? How close are we to that? Oh, so close to that tree. So that is where the extended winch has paid off. We're still not quite out. So we've either got to turn around or bash our way through some trees. We know which way we're going then. Warn any birds? And cause some environmental terrorism. I'm scared of the angle of that trailer. I think it's going to go. Shit the bed. So close. So close. So, it looks like the White Western Star, or the Fleet Star, is coming across anyway. I think it makes more sense to bring the Fleet Star down, because it's got less far to travel, and can then hang around the quarry and stick around here, and that leaves the White Western Star ready for Island Lake jobs. The GMC's got to come down anyway to bring some fuel, but this headache is one for next time, I think. So that's going to be a great treat to start the episode with. In which case, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.